Hi, everybody. Welcome to The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and it feels good to be home and back at it. It's a Monday. It's the new normal, and we've got lots of news for you. There's crazy stuff going on in the crypto market. Regulators are back at it, but we're going to focus on a lot of the positive things going on. So we've got some wrap up from some events for you and lots of other great things. So we'll be right back with Mommin It Crypto. Hi there, Mame. How are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Lisa. I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. I feel a little off. We missed Friday because we had some things going on, but glad to be back on the show and catching up with everybody. There's a lot going on in crypto, and it seems like everybody's talking about Shiba. Coinbase listed Shiba last week, and now I have friends crawling out of the woodwork asking me about it. And I'm like, we've been screaming at you about crypto, like Litecoin, Bitcoin, like real solid projects for 4 years. And now all of a sudden a meme coin pops up and you guys are like beating down our door. It's just, it's a very bizarre time for crypto, I think. But
it really is. It's exciting days, I would say,
Yeah.
very risky business going on, a high volatility. We have Bitcoin like ranging from 60 to 65. I keep looking at the portfolios and you see the ups and downs on the altcoin as well. I mean, the moment has arrived. We waited for 4 years.
Yeah, I think this is that, that big adoption push that we've been waiting for, like you said, where, we're hearing it with AMC theaters talking about they're going to have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash and Doge that they're going to be accepting by the end of the year. We're just seeing it more and more in the mainstream. So exciting.
Even in the news that we have today, it's all about adoption, I would say, being taken to the next level, probably.
Definitely. I wanted to start off with our Rodrigo did this amazing video for the Utah Valley University Bitcoin conference that we went to. And I thought we could show everybody. This was a great wrap up of the event. And I thought we could just play this for everybody if you're good with that to kind of start off the show.
I am. I love this video. I think it captured the essence of the event. It showcased a sneak peek of the NFT, the movie as well. It's super exciting. So go for it.
Yeah, I need to have the NFT, the movie guy on. I keep forgetting to contact him.
If you want, I can call Jeff.
Jeff, right? Yeah, I was supposed to connect with him, and we need to do that. We need to have him on. Maybe we can have him on next week to talk about that.
Okay, I'll send him this video, and he'll watch it.
Okay, that'll be awesome. Yes,
Jeff,
I want to have you on and talk about your movie. So
yeah. NFTs are basically the future, and it's a way for artists to monetize their art, expand the reach of their art, and basically give continuity to their art in a way of you can receive royalties in the future and validate your artwork. It's like creating a record of your art in the blockchain. It's going to be a timeless record. As long as the blockchain survives, your work is going to be recorded for many years to come.
I think for the first time since the Gutenberg press. See, way back when, if you wanted to read the Bible, you had to have a pastor read it to you. The Gutenberg press came out and people started making copies of their own, inevitably. And then you could sit at your home and you can kind of do your own thing. I think cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin, NFTs gives us, the artists, technologists, filmmakers, and musicians, the ability to be free without the music companies, without the film companies. And then if you talk to people who are very, very keen on this earth being green or keen on everybody having clean water, this is an opportunity to level the playing field, because DeFi, decentralized finance, doesn't require centralized banking. It doesn't require that you have to give all your money to the bank and let them loan that out and they give you nothing. So I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency levels the playing field, kind of like the Gutenberg press.
And what a non-fungible token was, one of the Ethereum standards, stands for ERC 721. So 721 was a proposal on Ethereum to make something called a non-fungible token.
Hi, my name is Brittany. An NFT is a non-fungible token, meaning an encrypted piece of digital content that cannot be exchanged for something else alike in value. It is unique and special, just like you.
I think Web3 and decentralized protocols could change the world. This is the Napster moment of finance, and it is the opposite of the Napster moment it's the opposite of the Napster moment for creative individuals.
Well, what do you own NFTs? Like, you got like a lot of
NFTs. We got Pong, we got Hashmas, we got Mooncats, we got V-Friends, we got Meebits, we got we got some legendary NFTs. Look up someone named.
I love that confidence.
Yeah, cute.
So to me, Bitcoin's a lifeboat in kind of this rocky, wavy world where people are printing $3.5 trillion. It's going to be an indicator where the more printing that happens, the better it's going to benefit Bitcoin. So it's a store of value. It acts like a digital gold. I really like having that available.
Crypto is important because we actually have the opportunity to be our own bank and be self-sovereign, which I feel like is a very empowering movement. With crypto, you actually own the keys to your assets. It's actually yours, and you see how many of each thing are out there, just like NFTs. And it's just so important to actually be able to transfer your own funds and actually hold your value.
I think Bitcoin is important. Just, I think on both blockchain technology and crypto, it allows you to, just do what you want, I guess, in the world. And I think that is some, that's kind of vague, but it's true. Is in the sense like, for example, on social media, they just keep banning people over and over again, and you don't have a voice. And they're, actively trying to take away your voice. And that's why blockchain is such an excellent technology used as social media. You have Visa and MasterCard. It doesn't matter what payment processor, what bank that you use. They'll just say, hey, you can't accept money, so your business is basically dead. If you ever want to use a card, and not just take cash, I guess, otherwise your business is just dead. And the Telegram CEO put out a huge statement that it's terrible that Visa and MasterCard choose, what you can and cannot, buy. And it's not just the legal stuff. It's just, if you piss off Visa or MasterCard, or if you don't have the right exact thing that they like to sell, even if it's legal, they say sucks to be you. Cards no longer work on your website. And, I think that's a slap. I think people in the U.S. and people in the West are about to get a slap in the face of why crypto is very important. And also just, in the IRS, there's a recent thing that was passed where IRS, it used to be they can only look at your account over $10,000, and now they're lowering that to $600. So pretty much everyone in the world that has $600 over in their account, the IRS can just get your bank records without you knowing it. I mean, it's becoming more and more of a, kind of a oppressive world, although technology is getting better. A lot of those technologies are being used to oppress people. And that's the beauty of blockchain and crypto. These are new technologies that give people more freedom. And that's why I'm into it. And if you, want to get into it, Bitcoin is a great place to get going. And there's many sites like Coinbase and there's one I invested in called MetalPay that are all fantastic ways to get into Bitcoin for the first time. And that's probably the best crypto to get into first, and then get into Dash and others, obviously, right? So from there.
It is going to change the world because it is based on honesty, truth, blockchain, and it isn't pushed on anyone. It's a voluntary system that you join. You take your currency or your label, you exchange it for Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden this whole world just is opened up to you, and you learn that currency and money is a human right. It isn't and shouldn't actually be in the hands of any government.
Bitcoin is important because only through Bitcoin can we get away from, the control of governments and banks that basically are stealing from us every day. And that's why inflation happens, because people don't understand the fractional reserve system and how money and currency really works, and how we've been ingrained in the system for a long time. So when I found out about Bitcoin, back in 2013, I was really excited to start. I mean, it's this concept. People are like, I don't get it. It's a fad or it's money out of nothing. I'm like, well, so is your credit card. So is your rate. That's money out of nothing. Fractional reserve system is really money out of nothing. And for them just printing money. But Bitcoin is a finite number. It's a limited number, and it will continue to grow in value and value. But it's based off of peer-to-peer. I can send you money, somebody can buy my shirt for Bitcoin. And so the circular economy, what it's based on, I'm a firm believer in it.
Why it's important right now? I don't know, because I just got started maybe 2 months ago, maybe not even that long ago. So what my company does is the VR for team building activities for businesses. But a friend of mine called me and says, hey, you've got all these machines, why aren't you mining? And I said, because you haven't told me how to do it yet. So we got together, he showed me what to do, and so now when I'm not running activities for the company for adaptive workshops, I'm actually mining various different tokens. Right now they're all Ethereum tokens, so I've done several different ones. I'm still learning why it's important, but I know that the US dollar is not going to stay there forever. Something's going to happen. I know something's coming. I can smell it, but I don't know exactly what it is. I can't put my finger on it yet.
Well, Bitcoin is important because it's written into the code. The code says that it is not inflationary. It will fix global economical problems, and the technology built around it says that you can be financially independent if you choose to and educate yourself. Maybe when it first started, technology wasn't ready, but now it's ready. The economical issues of the world weren't ready, and now they're ready. And the financial institutions of the world are ready for a change, and people can independently invest in Bitcoin and be financially independent.
I think the US dollar is dead. I was talking earlier about how it's no longer the world reserve currency. We saw the recent deal with China and Russia, and it was done in the digital yuan. And I think that it's time for everybody to find those lifeboats, and I think Bitcoin will be the lifeboats.
Bitcoin is important because it's a litmus test. The litmus test for the future of the financial system from a decentralized standpoint. The litmus test is proven.
And how do you see Bitcoin in a couple years from now?
Massive stability. I mean, if you look at the current assets that have been printed in US dollars, all currency, Bitcoin already has surpassed that in value. I believe that even as other countries either say we want to run our country on it, or other countries say we would ban it, just like India did once, said it's banned, then they said they accept it, then they banned it again, now they accept it. China said it's banned, then they accept it, now they banned it again. I believe that Bitcoin is a store of value that cannot be taken down. The problem is the average time to transact is only about 10 minutes on average. So again, Bitcoin is a very solid proof point that decentralization can actually run the world without humans in the middle of it. And that's the biggest thing. If you take humans out of the middle and you allow governance to be not regulated, but for the individual to be able to govern themselves, Bitcoin provides that proof point in the financial sector of decentralization. There's so many other sectors, land management, whether you talk about asset management transferring from generation to generation, whether you talk about title management, whether you talk about how counties run, how cities run, how countries run, they can literally be able to continue for future generations to pick up parts and pieces that have been proven. I think the last 10, 12 years with Bitcoin is a litmus test of what could be done, but ultimately it's a proof point for the future of what can be done. Imagine Bitcoin transactions that are actually free. So there's no cost. They're real time. But currently do what they do where there's no government or no bank. But if you add in those other elements and you tie it to the individual owning their own identity, because right now, Bitcoins are actually easily be able to trace what happens. People think, oh, let's use it for fraud. But ultimately, you can't give me $1 and say every single hand that's already touched it before. But with Bitcoin, you can. How long do they have it? How do they fraction it up? So the proof points and the value that Bitcoin has provided is unmeasurable by many, many ways.
Hi everybody, my name is Rod Ambrisi, and before you watch part number 3 of the Cryptocurrency Revolution documentary series, I strongly suggest you watch part number 1, Venezuela and the Cryptocurrency Revolution, where I spent 1 week in Venezuela paying everything with
Look at that stack of bills.
It's
insane.
I know.
So anyway, so that was
that is 2018. Imagine it's now that won't buy you anything. You need a bigger stack.
a bigger stack.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy. So that was the documentary that he put together the video for the event, which I thought was really cool.
It was awesome. No, he does such an amazing job, and the event was amazing. I loved one of the last person who spoke, and he talked about, the track record of Bitcoin, and that basically you can pretty much see every address it transacted with, and you can kind of, and that reminds me how awesome Mimbo actually is. That in the future. And so
that will have an option of privacy once we get Mimble launching. I also wanted to bring up, we still have a few more days in October. So if you join my Patreon, this is what I'm doing for my giveaway this month for everybody that's a current Patreon member, or if you join this month, this is the token magazine from that event. And it's signed by Mommin and myself and Ben and let's see, Miss Teen Crypto, a couple of the other speakers and people that were participating. There's Mommin's signature right there. And a couple of the other people that participated and some of the artists that were there. So that will be the giveaway item for whoever wins the drawing for this month. So
cool.
It's $5 a month to join. It supports the channel. There's a link in the description. So just want to give everybody a reminder.
The signed copy, Charlene texted me that one of the signed copies sold on eBay for over $200. So it's actually a very good price. I know.
Really crazy.
I know. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing, because some people do think that these are moments in history, we don't have many specialized magazines actually in this field. So it's kind of interesting to have a copy physical piece,
Well, and there is a way to scan part of it and have a NFT version of some of the artwork or one of the pages or something?
I believe so. I think the artwork that was auctioned during luncheon, I believe you can scan and you can actually acquire some of the NFTs through the magazine, something like that. That's not of my NFTs that are in there though. Those were specific ones, the cardboard ones that were sold, the
portraits.
The portraits of everyone who participated in the event.
Okay, that's what he was talking about.
So I think there are instructions there, and I think those NFTs have been sold already. I'm not sure, so I gotta double check.
You have to kind of check up on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also has my Lisa's letter to the people in there. So
it's great.
So let's see.
Let's start on the news, I guess.
Yes. Jump into the news. Let's see. Where are we? I know what we had, like we said, a lot of adoption news.
Congrats, Charlie G, for winning the magazine in the New Jersey meetup. He's letting us know that he won one. Yay, awesome. Is it a signed one? I hope
it is one of the signed. So I went ahead and paid her for, I think I bought 10 and had her ship them to me because I wanted to give some as gifts for Christmas.
That's great.
And then I thought, well, I'll do one for a Patreon giveaway, and then I brought, I think, 2 to Jersey as giveaways. So I'm gonna do some of them for giveaways at our next couple meetups as well.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can pitch in something. Actually, let me see if I can mail it to you for your next one. Give me the address, and I'll pitch in one of Alan's Huddle House.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
we're going to have our next meetup will be our Friendsgiving meetup in Peoria. So you guys can go to clintwestwood.net and get all the information about that. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited because I won a giveaway this week, Short the Bank giveaway. So I'm nice. A t-shirt this week. I'm so excited. And then I won an NFT. So you hang around enough in the crypto community, you end up winning something, But just watch out which giveaways you participate in. If they ask anything from you, don't do it, okay? You just want to be
yeah. Don't click on anything.
Don't click on anything, just retweet. Those ones are fun.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start off with, I guess, the biggest news, the MasterCard plans, allowing partners to offer crypto and loyalty rewards. This, I think, was kind of the biggest news of the day.
It really is. It's so significant, Lisa. MasterCard announced that it's preparing to integrate cryptocurrency into its loyalty programs offerings for US-based banks, merchants, and fintech firms on its payment network. And millions of loyalty member programs who basically never heard of crypto before, maybe haven't used or have no knowledge of crypto before, will gain that exposure kind of overnight. All of a sudden in their loyalty programs, they're going to see, would you like, your loyalty is paid in crypto or something like that. So it's a very significant move, in my opinion. And the CEO of MasterCard, Michael Mybeck, said in July that the company has to be in this space. So under quotes, they say, it has to be in this space, in part due to the growing interest around central bank digital currencies and cryptocurrencies in general. So it's almost like a first step that they are taking because they are looking into the future and they are seeing how common that's going to become. So they are already kind of like building that infrastructure to allow it to happen.
So I guess we saw that article where they were talking about giving rewards in cryptocurrency. Then we have even more news where they're saying plans to allow merchants to accept Bitcoin or cryptocurrency payments as well. So this was another article talking about actually accepting payments.
I think it's like this. I think companies, they start doing something when they start to lose certain shares, okay? It wasn't a big problem to them until crypto users like me, you start canceling their credit cards and going for the folds and the Litecoin credit cards and everything. And now all of a sudden you're seeing, in the beginning, 100 people, then it's 1,000 people, then it's 10,000 people. And then, all of a sudden you start, where are my customers going? And they realize, and all of a sudden they start, innovating to the point that they are competitive in their industry because they have to be. And clearly there is a marketplace for crypto rewards. And I noticed that because I've been traveling around and going to conferences, and I've been seeing more and more of those fold credit cards and those crypto credit cards coming off of people's wallets. A couple of years back, I would go around conferences and chances were where we went to dinner didn't accept crypto yet. And we would, just pull bank credit cards. But now a lot of people have access to these new gadgets. And credit card companies don't want to lose their customers. I think they want to maintain what they have. So now they're going to start looking into offering the same options that are available.
Definitely. I want to stay on this theme. I know we're mentioning Fold, and so I want to jump in and just mention one thing. This weekend, I am going to be joining my friend Matt Moore in Tulsa at an event that's hosted by Fold, and we're going to celebrate death of fiat. So that's going to be our little Halloween celebration. So Friday,
I used to love the idea of death of fiat until CBDCs came into play. Yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I hope there will still be a little piece of paper cash in the net.
Yeah. then you turn around. Yeah, it's like, wait, maybe paper cash isn't so bad.
Maybe it isn't so
really
bad compared to what's
thing. Yeah. But actually, Fold is going to be sponsoring. They're doing the first round on them. They're giving away 1,000 Satoshis just for attending. And then they're going to be, of course, have their Fold app swag and a discount code. And it's going to be at Bar 473 in Tulsa, which is a really cool very hip place to hang out. No masks needed because we are in Oklahoma, the land of the free and the brave. Thank goodness. So hopefully everybody will go. I'll be there. I'm hoping my son and his wife will join me. They live in Tulsa area. So it's Friday, October 29th from 6 to 7. Surely we'll be there for more than an hour.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that's a short time. We can't.
I have to drive almost 2 hours to get there, so I will be there for more than an hour for sure. But I hope to hang out with everybody, and they're going to have discount and swag.
I've never seen a meetup end too early, like on the specific right time, actually. Usually, and I've seen several where people just say, "Oh, let's go to drink somewhere else." If the place ends, it ends up extending to more, spots. So
I'm sure we'll hang out here for a while. And Matt is actually going to be reading, doing a reading from the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. So that should be really interesting.
It has a very Halloweenish feel too. I kind of like it. It's maybe you guys should go dressed up. I'm just kidding.
I'll be dressed up as Satoshi.
A Satoshi or Bitcoin,
I had to try to get one of those Satoshi masks.
Right. Those are really cool. I know.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I always steal my daughter something in the last minute. So I usually do a bunny, just put the bunny in
some ears or something.
A unicorn, something, So we'll see what I'm gonna be this year. But I gotta figure something out. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the description as well. But I wanted to, while we were on the subject of mentioning Fold, I wanted to bring that up. So I'll be in Tulsa on Friday and hope to see anybody there.
There was a perfect coincidence, right? That week, perfect timing.
Jumped right in there. There was one more thing that was associated with that story, though, the MasterCard. So they talked about first they offered the benefits or the perks to their members. Then they said, okay, we're just going to allow our merchants to straight up accept Bitcoin. Then there was this report that said that Bakkt stock soared with this news of their crypto partnership with MasterCard. So I guess Bakkt is the stock, which is a token. It's my understanding for that's going to function. Did you look into that?
I think it's just a fund, just like Grayscale and Pro Shares, they are just like major cryptocurrency managers, digital asset managers. And it's interesting because something big came out on Grayscale as well that got kind of obfuscated by this MasterCard news is because last week we saw the first ETF being approved by the SEC by ProShares. So ProShares launched the first SEC approved ETF, Bitcoin ETF, and then today Grayscale announced that 3 of its fund, which is Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum Classic, which was strange, but I'm like, okay. They have been approved by the SEC as well. So today marks the day that Litecoin has a SEC-approved ETF as well. And it's kind of like just a one coin fund. And it's just regulated like regular stocks. So they have to provide all the financial statements. They have to provide all, the predictions and everything, just like a regular stock. It's definitely a security. These funds are now regulated, and that just broadens the scope of investors even more, because let's say those not risk-oriented investors that before felt that this wasn't a safe asset class, now they can buy in feeling safe. it's feeling like, oh, this is as regulated as Apple, or as Microsoft, because it's going through the same scrutiny, and the same type of paperwork and everything.
Interesting.
So I know it's
more big steps for adoption. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because when you funnel in, you're looking at, you're seeing these announcements, but until people start, seeing in their wallets and seeing their credit cards in their statements, and going OPT in takes a little bit of time. So and it's all of a sudden you exposing this asset to a lot of people. They'll receive an email or a newsletter from the company. These are customers that they already have. So just like PayPal, when they transitioned into offering Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, it opened the realm to a lot of people. Why? Because they already had their customers, and their customers, a lot of them were too busy not thinking about it, and maybe they bought it just because it became an easy option for them, because they don't have to sign up to something else, they don't have to create an account anywhere else, just simple.
Interesting.
It's behavioral, almost like how human beings. When do you give in? Is it when it's easy for you? Or do you? We kind of
forced to do it. Yeah.
In a way, we took the leap earlier when the highways weren't as easy. It's like driving a car before the highways existed, and it's a little bumpy still, and and all of a sudden the roads are getting more clear.
Definitely. Here's another huge step for adoption. I mean, as much as I guess kind of the OGs and the purists get frustrated with some of this, but the reality is, if we want everyone on that highway, we've got to make some of these bridges. And with that, people will learn, and then they'll have an opportunity to choose whether they want centralized or decentralized options. So David Gockstein says, I don't like this, but Coinbase gets the opportunity to get in front of millions, if not billions of people on Facebook's platform. Such is huge for the crypto industry. And so he shares this article that says Coinbase's stock rises after Facebook taps it for help on the new cryptocurrency. And so they finally not launched this wallet that we've been talking about forever, that Novi wallet that they've been talking about just forever.
I know.
Finally launched, I guess.
Yeah, and when they did, I found it. I thought it was so interesting. First, Novi Wallet, great. They said they are gonna be needing Coinbase services to store the assets for their customers. So they are going to provide the wallet, but the wallet is going to be, so it's not going to be self-custodial, clearly, because Coinbase is going to be taking care of those assets. So clearly, one thing that I draw as a conclusion of that article, it's not going to be a self-custodial wallet, because literally, if it is custodial, there is no need for Coinbase, because it's non-self-custodial. Then Coinbase is there to basically secure. Okay, they are great specialists in securing people's cryptocurrency. They've been doing it for so long in the USA and are one of the most regulated crypto exchanges in the world. So it makes sense. But one thing left to my imagination is, which cryptocurrencies is Novi gonna accept? Are you gonna launch on cryptocurrency, Cuckoo, Facebook, or are you gonna just?
I think they have their own.
I'm a joker.
Remember, they had their own coin. It was
Libra or
Libra, or
And then they changed.
What was it called?
So I know you're doing the spinning around, trying to confuse us, but I'm on it, and I just want to know what cryptocurrencies is Novi gonna support. Is it Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum? Then I actually like this article, and I think this is okay. But if it is only a specific Facebook coin, then I might not like it. You know what I mean? So I'm still like, I think the article is great. It talks about the partnership, but I can't still draw too much of a conclusion unless I know what Novi is gonna be, offering in a way. You know what I mean? And I would love to see Facebook doing similar to what PayPal did. That would be my personal preference, is if they don't launch a cryptocurrency and just make it available to their customers, what we already have, the basket that we favor, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and few others. And I understand them not making it custodial at first because, just like PayPal, they mentioned that they weren't making it
at
self,
the beginning.
they weren't allowing the withdrawals, partially because they wanted to make sure that people were educated on how to handle the security and everything around cryptocurrencies. But they are now just announcing that they are soon going to be releasing that capability. So, it's so interesting to see all these large corporations working on this and having their people work on it. And
it's really happening just all over. I mean,
we may have it. I mean, when we say it's all happening all over, it doesn't mean that we're not gonna have setbacks, people.
Sure. Speaking of setbacks,
there you go. I wanted to.
Girl. Yeah. Speaking of setbacks, this was not my most fun.
I know we
thing today.
Give great news, because unfortunately there are some things that can always halt the direction that things are going.
Yeah, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. We don't know what they're going to say, but basically it's an announcement of an announcement. And this guy announces that some other guy, Blinken, is going to deliver remarks on Wednesday to establish a Bureau of Cyberspace, Digital Policy, and new special envoy for critical and emerging technology. So
it's just because we love more government agencies.
Yes, govern me harder, Daddy. Govern me harder.
Hire more people and make it a, it is what it is. And but another committee, more, gentlemen meeting together.
Oh man. But we have a lot of great things happening. So that's what we're focusing on. We're going to bring up that announcement will come on Wednesday, but there were a lot of other really great things.
And no matter what, we can't stop innovation, right? I mean, regulation comes always a little behind. So every time we take one leap in technology, then we do have this little stage that it goes through. But
fearmongers.
Now I'm seeing a lot of anxiety in the market as well. Like last week we didn't get a chance to see each other, right, Lisa? So I did a show in Portugal. I'm now doing a show for European in Portuguese as well, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
With Mundo Cripto Feminino, which is feminine crypto world in Portuguese. That's what it means. And there is a lot of stuff happening like on closed doors, and some of that a little came out on Twitter. And I think it was Brian from Coinbase mentioning like how on closed doors, sometimes when he's having discussions, with SEC, sometimes there is a little bit of an intimidation thing happening, you know what I mean? And he made a tweet, and that's last week, so it's going to be a little hard for you to find.
Yeah.
And then Ripple.
So it was something that you sent me, though?
I don't think I sent it to you. Okay. Because we knew we weren't going to do the show.
Because it would be a little while. Okay.
It's on Brian, Coinbase CEO, Brian Brooks, right? I forgot the last name, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
and he tweeted about a recent meeting that he's had with regulators about DeFi capabilities, and I think it was the percentage that he was gonna offer on his Coinbase for DeFi services, decentralized finance services. And then he said that between closed doors, the agency wasn't really too happy about it, and they pressured him not to offer the service. And then the Ripple guy came in a comment and made like a comic comment saying, "Welcome to the party, buddy." You know what I mean? Like
so we're all getting picked on kind of thing.
And then I read an article, if I'm not mistaken, it was by Cointelegraph, just mentioning how, you know, companies are struggling because they really would like to have more clarity in a sense of which direction they can go and which direction they cannot go. It's kind of like a trick. It should be opening new grounds.
It really is. And I am, everybody knows that knows me, I'm not a fan of XRP or Ripple, but when they had gone to them and asked for guidance for quite a while and were refused any kind of guidance, and then they move forward with their, technology and whatever, and then to come in and stomp on them, it's kind of like,
yeah,
it's really, really bad way to do business, so.
It's almost like you don't know which direction to go. So so it's unfortunate, but everybody that is,
they opened the gate and then punished them for going out of it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And they get a little slap, and it's unfortunate. But that is happening a lot of debates surrounding the issue. And it doesn't look like the technology is stopping. You're seeing more and more DeFi platforms, you're seeing more and more services being available, and you see more and more people just getting more familiar with the technology as well. I mean, I remember 2-3 years ago, people not knowing what a QR code is, and nowadays, syncing capabilities, like things are getting so much easier and becoming more common knowledge, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I want to touch on this one really quick, and then I know we had one more that was really great news. Theta Labs was awarded another patent. I mean, there's more and more news about Theta all the time. This is definitely something to keep your eye on, you guys. But this is a method system for data caching and delivery over a decentralized edge network. So this was another patent that they were awarded just recently. Theta Labs has now been awarded U.S. patent, I don't know, 11 million, whatever.
That's amazing.
I think this was exciting. Yeah, talking about the edge node and servers.
I wish I had the time to understand more about it. And I watched their EMA many months ago, probably a year and a half ago, and the CEO was there with the main developer and one of their best designers, and they were talking about Theta future, and that's where they are right now. And they were talking about, how they are not only creating, because when you go on the Theta site, it's amazing. You can really stream, you can check out streamers, you can send NFTs to each other, you can send prizes. It's really fun. But it's not just that. Kind of like just showcasing what their true capability is all about, and what they want to do is become to be able to do that for other companies, for Samsung and other partners, that need that capacity, that decentralized capacity of streaming data. And it's not just video, it's for business purposes, for many, many different purposes. So I do admire them a lot. It's funny because I've seen many YouTubers being, especially in their early beginning, being a little negative because the approach was more careful, you know what I mean, in a sense that they didn't allow people to withdraw their tokens and things like that. And because of that, it felt, why can't I withdraw my money?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like that.
Restrictive, or
Yeah, but they were always asking, the management, was always asking for, hey, wait, because we're trying to do it, but we're working with regulators. And I just always kept them eyeballing them, because I felt like, sometimes being cautious is not a bad thing. People can. Crypto is about having patience as well, to see how each project will flourish, and and which ones will not survive in the long run. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and you sent this one, I think, just a little bit before we got on. This was exciting. Another country coming on, looking at bringing crypto to their people. The Nigerian president to unveil Inaria. I don't know how you say that.
Actually, not crypto, honey. It's just the central
Oh,
bank.
it's their CBDC. Okay.
Their CBDC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we saw a huge rise in Nigeria. You see a lot, like crypto adoption is
The
like,
youth in Nigeria. So we have a good friend, one of Charlie's good friends that worked with him for years, is from Nigeria. And he talks about how the youth there love crypto, like real crypto, not this CBDC crap. And, but there's a huge use of crypto in Nigeria. So you could see why their president would be pushing for a CBDC to try to get control of that currency in their area.
Yeah, it's like it's a mirror image, and then people can easily confuse and say, hey, maybe I will invest in this rather than, but INARA is not going to gain value, okay?
No. Yeah.
It is just like your currency. It's probably gonna suffer inflation as well. On the contrary, I'm not saying that if you buy cryptocurrency, of course, you have the risk of losing money because it could lose value as well. And however, you buy into a market, CBDCs are just your local regular money. But on top of it, it's programmable, okay? It has an additional layer of metadata there that the government can, in a way, keep a little bit more track of what your expenditures are. And right now, they mentioned in Nigeria that they were supposed to launch their INAIRA in October, but they had few issues with it, and they wanted to make sure that they did it right and that the architecture worked properly, so they are fine-tuning it to launch. But and they released a document that showcases their what their INARA is all about. So if you go on the government website right now, you can read papers about the structure and the architecture and how. But it's interesting to see and look at those things. I'm not a developer, but I would want to know what kind of capabilities does this money have,
Right.
Can you give the money? Can you take away the money? Can you,
does it have expiration dates like they were doing in China with the, they were trying to stimulate the economy in China. And so they were giving out their CBDCs, their digital yuan, but they were putting expiration dates on it. So people would be given their UBI, but you had to spend it or it would go away.
A certain date. Or maybe they can specify on what you can spend your money, and maybe this is for food, this is for rent, and this, so it's programmable. People need to understand that it doesn't have the same physical abilities that cash gives us, and it's another thing. It's not private, it's tied up with your identity as well. So that's something, when cash is not tied up, the cash moves from one hand to another. It doesn't have, I can't trace it. So those, it's interesting to see more countries are heading in that direction, maybe because it's less costly, but I don't think it's because it's less costly. It's just the programmable capabilities.
Control. Yeah.
Very attractive to.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I had, we got invited to a birthday party for one of Cannon's friends, and I got to have a really great conversation with a lady who I met through homeschooling, and she's brilliant, and she's teaching me about dangling participles and all kinds of very difficult grammar things. And she was like, okay, this is where I'm going to teach you about that, and you're going to teach me about cryptocurrency. And we talked about, the difference in centralized and decentralized currency. And I think if that's one of the things that they don't want you to know the difference of. And when I hear Powell he'll throw around the word cryptocurrency to confuse people. Like they want general public to believe that these CBDCs that they're creating are cryptocurrency. And I'm like, that it's two different things. And that I think if we can be really strong and simple in our messaging about what the difference between centralized and decentralized is, that's going to be one of our strongest weapons in this information war.
I completely agree with you. And I think it has to be as clear as possible for people to understand that these are two different systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
Although it
your-
wouldn't be impossible for a government to create a decentralized cryptocurrency, because they could try, to actually have people involved and do it. I mean, it's as crazy as it is, but why would they if Bitcoin, Litecoin already exists?
Right.
It has been created. So when I see a country adopting,
like El Salvador is
like
doing
El Salvador,
accepting Bitcoin, they care about their people. They're saying like, it's not any of our business, use this tool that's decentralized, be free in your, in your money, in your value, in your labor.
I know it's and then everything will come with it, and then the capabilities will evolve for adoption and things like that. People will develop the things and the networks needed to make sure that Bitcoin functions and grows and scale the perfect way, because you would have a huge team, a global team on it.
Like when Ben taught me or helped me understand that money represents our labor, and our labor is ours, and that is why our money, which is representing our labor, should be free and sovereign, and that should never be centralized or owned by a government. Our government should never own our labor, because that makes us a slave. So that's why there's no reason that money should ever be centralized. So,
and when they print, they dilute our labor.
Our labor.
Like, okay, I worked 8 hours. They double the supply of money. That means I actually, I worked 8 hours to receive 4 hours only.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but you are diluting, and people are caught up in this illusion that they are getting free money, and it's a little sad, because I know, because when I talk, I received my stimulus check today, I received, and everybody gets excited. Oh, there are more stimulus coming. I'm like, I think that's nice. I don't know. It's nice right now, but let's consider this in the long haul, and I know I don't want anybody to be hungry, but at the same time,
it's nice until you are hungry. I mean, I saw somebody in the chat said that they went and bought 2 heads of cabbage, and it was $18 at the grocery store. You can go fill up at the gas station. It's
crazy. $5 here, Lisa. $5 a gallon here in California. I mean, 1 year ago, we were like, when the oil went down, we hit $2. Like more than double the money. You know what I mean? If you're a truck driver right now, your profits got cut in half. So it's very. I mean, and then they complain, the truck drivers don't want to pick up the containers. Well, what, that's not even paying their gas, maybe.
Can't afford to.
So, our whole supply chain is messed up, because people can't put a price on things, and people are just not used to be that inflationary machine as they were. Even the systems are not set up for that type of change. I remember in Brazil, when I used to go to the supermarket in the inflation times, and I remember that like it is today, and you have someone in the product always changing the price. They had a machine, and they would like tack, 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 tack. By the time they change the price, the next day it's time to change the price again.
Wow.
Imagine you have to do your accounting every single day, because the price changes every single day. It was that fast. It's like I would grab the butter before the guy reached that butter with the new price. You know what I mean? Because the new prices it comes little, but it's every day you're changing prices. I remember that like it was yesterday. And in Brazil, it was like a little machine. It wasn't like QR code things,
Right.
Now it may be easier, because the
QR code, they'll just update the price in the computer.
Yeah, in the computer. Let's say 4% up today on the whole supermarket. Jack it up. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, living in a culture where hyperinflation is there, it is crazy. The amount of paper that is spent just to change tags. It's crazy.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, I think we're seeing it all kind of roll out in front of us. And I think I'm grateful that we found cryptocurrency and understand the difference between centralized, decentralized, and we can find these lifeboats. And so you guys tell your friends, tell everybody, share these videos, try to get as many people to kind of wake up and find those lifeboats and to make that choice for themselves. You know, they can't say they didn't know if we share this information with them, you know, and then we can stop giving those other centralized things our energy and our labor. Stop giving them our labor. So
very true. And just know some people are just not ready to learn as of yet. And in that case, don't try to prove it too much, because that is a time. Everybody has its own time, their own time.
Yeah. And that's okay. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again. Please consider joining my Patreon. Be entered to win the signed copy of this wonderful magazine. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on The New Normal. Take care.
Thank you.